What is up, crew? Welcome to Seek the Edge podcast with me, Kelsey Lensman, where our mission is to challenge you outside of your comfort zone so you can tap into and live the God-given potential inside. And before I even get into today's topic, which we're going to announce our big fall event, we're going to really light a fire in your soul, not solely to even just compete, but to awaken what's always been within. And this morning, I wasn't even planning on sharing this, but this morning I saw a quote from somebody and it was so beautifully communicated that I have to share with you. So he said, the biggest scam humanity has collectively accepted as normal is trading most of life for the promise of someday. Someday I'll rest. Someday I'll be free. Someday I'll do meaningful work. Someday I'll be present with the people I love. We call this responsibility, ambition, and adulthood, but often it is fear wearing respectable clothes. People spend their healthiest years building lives they are too exhausted to enjoy, buying things to justify work they hate, and delaying purpose until they have less energy, fewer options, and less time. The scam is not work, discipline, or sacrifice. It is believing life begins after the next milestone instead of realizing the way you spend your ordinary days is your life. And as soon as I read that, I loved it because I can also, to this moment, but we can get so often caught up in the someday I will, ... whatever that might be. And it's not saying that every desire placed in your heart right now means that you should jump at it and go move across the country. For some of you, that might be, but for many of you, that doesn't mean that's the case. However, we can't always just bank on someday. And I say this from experience because of my car accident last year is my life could have easily, thank God it wasn't, cut short at 29 years old. And I thought I had, God willing, 50 plus, 70 plus more years from my 29th year. But I don't know if I had that. And I don't know how many more years I have left. And this plays into the fire that I'm going to light inside of you because I want you to think about the last time that you set a goal and achieved it. Not for your family, not to do work or for your workplace, not for a homework assignment, not another home project that needs done. A specific goal that challenged you, that gave you focus, and that gave you excitement to work towards for the sole purpose of bettering yourself, of you as the human. There is time and a place to read it in a book. We have a book club right now where there is a beauty in reading it in a book. There is time and place where you need to actually commit to something, to follow through with the thing that you said you're going to do, not just by words on a page, not just by listening to a podcast that's in your ear right now, but actually tangibly and physically doing it. And that is exactly why we created not just Expand Your Limits, but that is exactly why we created our big event of the year, Women Xpanding Limits, to give you the opportunity to not wait for someday, ... to give you the opportunity to not just hope that, man, I'll get to it maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But it gives you that wake-up call to say, today is the day. I always pray before a podcast, and I said, in the prayer before this podcast, I said, get my brain and get my body here in this moment. Don't allow me to think about what happened earlier today or maybe a couple days before. Don't allow me to think about what's happening either tonight or in the future. But get me here in this present moment because this present moment is where action happens. And I'm going to take y'all back with me a couple years ago is I did a big nationwide campaign called Mission 48. I'm not going to go in depth with it. We have a whole podcast about it. But I started and created and completed a campaign that we did 48 different fitness competitions in 48 states in 48 days to really help women wake up to the potential inside, to do the hard thing, and to show themselves that confidence isn't built by the affirmations that you say in the mirror. Confidence is built by the data that you show yourself, hey, I can do the thing. I can do the hard thing. But it wasn't the whole campaign with the story that I'm going to share. It was a specific state at a specific day with a specific group of people. And With each state that I went to, we threw a free event for that community. So if you were in California, we had a free event in California where anybody in the community could come out and compete with me. And people will always ask me, Kels, what's your favorite state? Which one was the absolute best that you loved competing in? And they're waiting for me to hear, man, New York was amazing, or Texas, or one of the bigger states that people look forward to going to or visiting. And I tell them the favorite state from the entire trip was Kansas. We were in middle of nowhere, Kansas. Literally, the town that we stopped in had one stoplight. We pulled up to this gym, which was a place where, yes, they train, but if you were looking outside, looking in, it was nothing special. And I remember as we pulled up to there, we saw floods of people coming out of this gym. And we saw floods of young girls and young boys coming out of this gym with a smile on their face and an excitement of that they get to be a part of this today. And as I went in, I talked to all the different individuals. I sat down with some of the young girls, and come to find out they have a whole young girls CrossFit and boys CrossFit program there that they get together their community after school. And you could tell that the lives that were impacted solely by this community here. And I will never forget, as we finished the workout, the competition today was a really grueling CrossFit event. It was hard for me to keep my cool that day because I was at a hard moment in the entire trip. But I'll never forget that there's this one woman that was coming in, and she was in the dark spot in the workout. She was in a tough spot. She wanted to give up in her mind, but the community was rallying around her. And she finished not just the entire workout, but she finished stronger than when she started. And you could tell as she came back into that gym on that last run, it was this feeling of, wow, I'm so excited to be done. But it was also this feeling of, I'm so incredibly proud of myself. And as these young girls and all these different people come around her, she realized in that moment, man, my brain wanted me to give up middle of this workout. But because of the people that I had come around me, because of the community that was built already, but then also a purpose and a mission to rally around, she not only broke a physical belief, but she saw another side to her, a deeper side, a grittier side, a, wow, I would have given up before side, but now you know what? I'm going to push through. She now gets to take that part of her that she might not have ever realized was there. She gets to take that outside of those gym walls and bring it to her family, bring it to her workplace. And I will tell you, that woman was more equipped walking out of that gym than walking in that gym that morning. And that's what I took away from that day, is when people come together towards a goal, towards something that isn't necessarily always easy, but they do the hard thing, they build each other up, and they show themselves really, hey, we can do this as we rally around. And that is exactly when change happens. And we can't expect change is going to happen someday. We can't hope, okay, when I finally get there, then I'll have time to do the thing. We have to realize that, hey, right here, right now is our opportunity. And especially as we step onto, whether it be a platform, a start line, we have those nerves, those butterflies in our stomach. That gets to show us, hey, you know what? You can be here. I can be a little fearful, and I can do things anyway. And it's time now more than ever to ignite a fire in women's hearts and in women's seeing themselves so much more differently than what they do right now. A lot of times we're in comparison, or we're in, man, I don't know if I can, or she can, but I can't. And we're constantly looking outward. When my cue to you is, can we look inward about what's already been placed inside of you? You might not just realize it right now. And this is where the real problem of this comes in. If you're hearing me, you're like, okay, Kels, I get it. There's something inside of me. You talk about it almost every podcast. But there's a problem that comes in by stopping somebody from seeing it and then feeling it. And the problem is we get comfortable in life. We do the right thing, quote unquote. We wake up, we go to work, we come back, We watch a new Netflix episode, we go to bed, and we rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And because we get used to it, we allow that to feel like it's the path that we should go because everybody around us is doing the same thing. Everybody else wakes up, goes to work, comes back, eats dinner, watches a Netflix episode, then goes to bed. Because that's just our normal, it allows us to suppress the side that is so deeply trying to come out to say, hey, there's more for you. There's more inside of you. There's an identity that I put in you that I didn't put in Kelsey right here, that I need you to pursue it. But guess what? I'm not going to just give it to you. I need you to see what I already placed inside of you yourself. And so we have these hopes, these dreams or desires deep in our heart. Or we might have even forgotten to even ask ourselves or dream anymore of what do I actually want? We just get complacent because being comfortable or too comfortable brings us to that complacency. And because we feel so far away from that, you get to one day, and it might not be a rock bottom day, but I had this in my life, if you listen back to my story, is where you get to that one day and you think, I can't believe I'm just here. Meaning there has to be something more. There's no way that this is all that life can be. And what keeps you here is, yes, comfortability, but the opposite of being comfortable, meaning what leads you into it, is something so much greater. I talk to many people about the root of problems. I don't just care about the superficial, hey, this is the symptom. I want to understand what is the root problem. And the root problem for so many is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not measuring up or not being good enough to other people, waiting until we're finally ready. And the thing is, all of those, failure, judgment, comparison, waiting till we're ready, they're just lies that you believe that are holding you hostage and keeping you stuck right now. And like I said at the beginning of this, it doesn't come from another podcast, another book, another consumption of a social media, another influencer that you watch. It comes from taking the bold, courageous action in your life and not just waiting for it to happen. Life will happen to you, meaning either the hard thing is going to come or we pursue the thing to get better. And I'll tell you from lived experience is when we pursue me getting better versus just waiting back and kind of thinking we're skating by in life, one, it's more exciting. Two, you become a lot more resilient and you get to go towards the thing that you actually want to go to. So when I press the send button, it now becomes real instead of just one day hoping that I'm going to get to it. Whenever you sign up for something, it does not have to be our event. But whenever I press the send button and actually sign up for that event, it puts a little heat on you, which is good. We need it. It is easy to get caught up in busyness, meaning once again, after the kids are done with school, well, after summer break, well, after when they get to Christmas break. And when I press that send button, this is fitting because I literally just pressed the send button for me that I signed up for today. I'm not doing our event because I'm leading it, but I'm doing something different because I like to go alongside of people and say, hey, I'm doing the same thing that you are too. It put an extra little heat on me. Okay, Kels, you can't just say, hopefully you're going to run one day. Nope, you are showing up to that start line whether or not you're ready. You get to choose if you're going to suffer in those 13.1 miles, meaning that it's going to be harder than what it needs to be, or you get to choose that I'm going to choose the hard now for an easier later. Hard later or easier later. It's my choice. And that's a day-to-day thing. But sometimes, just like the cliche as it sounds, is diamonds need pressure. Sometimes we need that just appropriate pressure on ourselves to level up. We need that appropriate, okay, I got to do the thing for us to actually take the action to do the thing. Because your brain loves comfortability, it loves known, and it loves safety. And so it would prefer you watch Netflix on your couch versus you sign up for that event. Would you prefer, hey, just do what you've always done versus go out and train for the thing that you just signed up for? But this is where that we get to beat our brain and show it that it no longer has total control over us. And what I found personally is when I've committed to a physical challenge, this is key, is that commitment, that preparation, the habits that it requires builds me into the woman that not only completes the physical challenge, but builds me into the woman that positively affects every other area of my life. I'm a better friend. I'm a better daughter. I'm a better dog mom. I'm a better steward of what God's blessed me with here because I now am leveling up. I'm taking the steps that is going to be required of what that next level is calling of me. That training creates the discipline. The discipline creates that confidence, and that confidence transfers to every other area of my life. And for you, it doesn't mean that you need to sign up for the next 100-miler, okay? That might be, hey, you know what? I'm going to commit to a 1-miler. Yep, I'm going to run it. I'm not going to walk it. For some of you, I'm going to walk it. I'm not going to just not sign up for it. For some of you, it might be the ultimate athlete where we're doing a bunch of different events throughout the day. But it doesn't have to be this absurdly crazy thing, meaning it's only for them and not me. It's for the person listening to this on the other side because confidence is not found before action. It's built because of action. And my friend, now I want to invite you to it. This is where Women Xpanding Limits comes in. I've had this dream, vision, talk about not someday, I'm saying today's the day, is I've had this vision of whenever I walked into the Arnold, which is a big fitness competition and expo here in Columbus, Ohio, is I could envision a place where it had all different types of women, all different types of sports, all different levels of capability, meaning just starting out to highly competitive with it. And you being able to bring your young girl or you being a 18-year-old, 25-year-old, 35-year-old, and you walking into this place and you seeing somebody like yourself with a similar background, with a similar story that is doing something that she never thought she could do. And I'm going to tell you why. Is because when you can see it in somebody else, meaning, wow, she's doing it, she has similar background to me, it unlocks the key of, well, maybe I can. And if I can get you to unlock the at least possibility of maybe I can, or hey, let's take it to that next level, that is where your potential and possibility lies, and you actually take the step too. And so it is our Mecca, our biggest event of the year. And it's all a fitness and wellness festival for women, redefining what's possible. And specifically for this one, if you know me personally, I've never been a, hey, you pay me and then leave type of person. That's not how I operate. I'm very relationship connection driven. And that's what this event is. It's not just you sign up and leave. As we value that community, we're doing it differently this year than we've ever done it before. There's going to be live music, a bonfire. Think of like a fall Ohio night followed by an epic day with women running and lifting and adaptive division, all different types of things. That is what this is. And so these are the events that you can sign up for. So number one is we have a 1-miler. Can be absolutely any age, 1 mile. Number two is a 5K, 3.1 miles. Those are our running options. You'll be out and back. It's beautiful, open scenery with pastures here in Ohio. It is going to be an amazing view. Secondly, is we have a Hyrox PFT, the performance or physical fitness test. Hyrox physical fitness test. What this is a perfect representation of what a Hyrox could be. And this is their actual fitness test where depending on where you line up will tell you, hey, if you were to do a full Hyrox, what that would include. Secondly is a lifting meet. It is our push-pull, our bench and deadlift. So for that one is you'll have 3 attempts for a max bench followed by 3 attempts for a max deadlift. And then we'll put your max bench and your max deadlift together to be able to combine for a total score. We have a regular division, a pro division, meaning weight class. If you're ready to take yourself to the next level and see where you measure up weight class, that's that. And also an adaptive division. Third here is hybrid. This is where we have a strength hybrid and also an endurance hybrid. A strength hybrid is a Hyrox in lifting. So you'll compete in Hyrox, have a little bit of time, and then compete in lifting, and then you have a strength hybrid score. Number 2 is endurance high rock. So we have a 5K. You'll compete in the 5K in the morning, followed by the lifting event. Once again, you're going to have an endurance hybrid score that will see where you measure up within that division. And then last but not least, if you know me, you know we got to level up to another way. And this is the ultimate athlete. This is for that person that is ready to embrace the full challenge. And what the ultimate athlete is you do the 5K in the morning, you do the high rocks PFT after, and then you finish it off with the lifting event. And we take a combination of all 3 of those events and you get your ultimate athlete score. And that is for the woman ready to really show herself, hey, you know what? We're going to earn the title of being that today. And so whether you're we had actually a 4-year-old at our 5K a year ago, whether you're the 4-year-old and your daughter is young and you want to run a 1-miler with her or walk it, by all means, go for it. Whether you're a competitive lifter and you really want to see, hey, what would my numbers be in bench and deadlift? Or, hey, I competed last spring. Let me see and come back and take myself to the next level. Whether you have a crew and a team and you train with all women at your gym and you say, hey, you know what? Let's go do the thing. We have options for you to, like I said, commit to that goal, not just hope one day, but really commit to that goal and show yourself, you know what? I'm not just hoping someday it's going to happen, but I'm going to make it this year. This day is when it's going to happen. And like I said at the end is I'm a very visual person. I have this vision where we have the beautiful stage, the bonfire in the back, the live music going, where we're just coming together after a day of highs, of challenges, of everything in between. And you're truly feeling a part of it. You're not just coming in and leaving. So we'll, like I said, have vendors, a recovery, sauna cold plunge there, food trucks, community. This is where you get to come to it and leave a different person on the other side. And also for every event, we started this last year where we have a for the one mission. And this is specifically inspired by Luke 15, where Jesus talks about leaving the 99 to go find the one. And this event, we're incredibly excited to partner with Susan G. Komen. This is a leading breast cancer nonprofit that helps in breast cancer resources, education, and also individuals going through that journey as they are. And this hits even deeper for me. If you've listened to the last couple episodes, is my grandma passed about 3 weeks from now, about a month ago. And one of the main reasons of why she deteriorated was because of breast cancer. And so this has another depth of it affects so many individuals, not just on a personal level, meaning maybe something that you have battled with, but in your family, in your friends. And it's something that we want to rally around and really make a difference to. And so there's a few things we're doing with the For the One is number 1, all 10% of every single ticket, whether you're lifting a 5K, high rocks, hybrid, or coming as a spectator, 10% of entire ticket sales go to Komen, period, bar none, that's there. Solely to fund what they are doing for these women. Secondly, which I'm honestly so excited for, is we have an option, which many of you that have already signed up, you are taking this and running, is we have the option to sponsor a breast cancer survivor to compete that day. So whether they're towing up to the line of a 5K, whether they're signing up for the high rocks, whether they're signing up for the lifting meet or all of it above, they have an opportunity to step on a stage and feel resilient, step on a stage and show their strength, not just physically, but internally. And they get to represent what's possible for women. And I can just feel the emotion that's coming. It's going to be incredible. We also have encouragement letters that we'll write that day. We're going to do survivor spotlight. There's so many different things that we're going to do to really make this impactful and powerful there. And so I want you to zoom out in your brain. You might be listening to this here and be like, okay, Kelsey, that sounds great. But what I really want you to think about is this isn't just about October 24th. This is truly about not just changing you, but changing the culture around you. Meaning this is going to impact your family. This will impact your friends. This will impact your workplace because you're going to show up a different person. And I will tell you, if you are a mama, I am a daughter. If you are a mom, it will be one of the biggest blessings that you can give your kids to take actions to overcome any fear, doubt, and hesitation in your brain, and not just lead by the words that you speak with your mouth, but lead by the actions you take with your decisions and your choices. And so maybe you've had that nudge. Maybe you've been waiting until you're feeling confident. But maybe this is the year that you stop waiting. This is the year that you stop saying, one day I will, ... And so I'm going to challenge you. I love you, but because I love you, I'm going to challenge you. This is where it begins. And so for those that do want to start, I'll give you it right here. You can go to our socials. It's everywhere on our socials. But it's Expand Your Limit, XPANDYWXL-WXL-2026. Our URL, /W, Women Xpanding Limits, XL-2026. All of this will be in the show notes. I want you to send this to a friend. I want you to not just sign up solo, get women a part of this, not because we need more people, but because we want you also to show and be that light for your friends, your family, and bring them into the transformation and change that you deserve, that they deserve, that you can collectively come together with. I'm going to leave you with this. Courage doesn't begin when fear disappears. It begins the moment you decide your purpose is greater than your comfort. That is the belief that changes everything. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing rest of your day.